right. How's everybody doing? So, I was thinking, what's up with tall people? Come on. I mean, you lay them down, you could land a plane on them. I mean, every now and again I'm walking around and I start choking. And people are like, dude, you okay? I'm like, oxygen deficiency. And they're like, okay now. I love Andrews Academy, really do. Been here 3 years. And one man that makes Andrews Academy important is Mr. White. Is he here? Can Mr. White stand? Is he too busy doing white things? Alright. Many of you might not know this, but Mr. White is indeed a superhero. And he gets his powers from his shoes. Because why else would you wear white tennis shoes with a suit? You have superpowers. I mean, a couple years ago, there was this movie called Like Mike. Well, now they're gonna make a new one. They're gonna call it Like White. And you can see some little kid, and he's gonna be like, please make me like White. He's gonna put on his shoes, and he's gonna have superpowers, and his friends are gonna be like, is it the shoes? He's gonna be like, precisely. So, Mr. Baker. I love Mr. Baker. Those of you who have classes with me and Mr. Baker, you know what I'm talking about. That guy is so old. What's his social security number, 1? Every now and again he likes to joke around. Oh, this semester, Baki, we're grading on looks. He's lucky they don't have teacher evaluations on looks. Still. Mr. Baker, he gives us some pretty good books every now and again, but every now and again you get one of those books and you're like, I've been reading so boring. Mr. Baker comes and like, do you have your book? Because if you don't have your book, then I don't even know why you're here. Then you can go to GLAW. So you're like, Mr. Baker, the only purpose this book has is sitting at home propping up my Xbox. I mean, alright. You know, he and Mrs. Sanchez have that German is better, and she's all like, Spanish is better. Well, I don't know. I think Mr. Baker's bad experience was when he went to Mexico, and he came back with a reputation, El Diablo. He claims it's Spanish for the fighting chicken. But I think it's something else. He's got those sayings, you know, like, it's not like birthing barbed wire. It's not like rocket science. What do rocket scientists say? Well, it's not like talking to women. Mr. Wright. I love Mr. Wright. He's up here telling some jokes. Apparently the writers must be on strike because have you ever been in Mr. Wright's office? I went freshman year, I walked into his office. Star Trek everywhere. It's like, it's okay, man. There's help out there. It's expensive, but it's out there. Miss Wright. Something you might not know about her, when she looks at you and says, boo boo da boo joo boo, that really means something. That is her own language. It really means, why are you sitting there looking at me? Go get me some snowballs, then write a paper. And remember to snack responsibly. It's a highly efficient tongue. You can fit an entire book on a napkin. One thing I love about Andrews Academy, school activities. Those are fun. Like banquets. Get to sit around with a bunch of my friends and talk about how we couldn't get dates. You know? But how's this getting a date? People make fun of you, aha, you didn't get a date. Do you know how hard that is? I mean, you're sitting there looking at the phone and you're just pacing. You know that phone, it's intimidating you, and you're just looking at it. Finally, you pick it up. I mean, you got the stalker's best friend open, the expo. You got her number. You pick it up. You're just like, and it starts ringing, and you just throw it down. And eventually, you call her, and she's like, I guess I'll go with you. And then you're like, yes! Bye. But then when a girl says no, it's like, I don't even want to eat a free meal in front of you. That's what I'm saying. I love Penny Arcade.
Yeah.
When you can get 30 pounds for 30 cents. Ed Tour. Ed Tour was fun. Went on that 3 years. This year we went to England, and we're sitting in the airport. And there are these guys walking around in like full camo outfits, like in the airport. You must be in the army or something. I wanted to run into one and be like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I didn't see you there. You shouldn't wear that in airports. I'm on the plane, and I look up, and in the what do you call it, the overhead compartments, there's one, there's one that says no stowage. I'm like, did Chamba write that sign? Stowage. Mr. Sherman, before we started going, he's like, get this. We're going to England, and we don't want to dress like Americans, so they don't know who we are. So he's like, don't wear, like United States flag sort of thing. So we're on the plane. He pulls off his jacket. Big letters, baseball. Baseball? Do they know what that is over there? No. So we're sitting there, and I'm looking at all the different like airlines. There's American Airlines, Delta Airlines, all different airlines. One called Virgin Atlantic. And I think to myself, if I was going to the Atlantic, I would want to be on an airline that's been there before. Very much.
Yes, Christian's grade point average after tonight. Probably a 0. That's okay. I mean, Christian's got some problems. I guess he'll get more. I thought I did, but I see the blast holes there for now.